Ladies and gentlemen, we are now boarding Group A. Please have your boarding passes ready to scan. If your phone is cracked, old, or was chewed up by your Chihuahua travel companion, please refrain from holding up the line. And instead, simply go to Verizon and trade in any phone in any condition from one of their top brands for the new Samsung Galaxy S25 Plus with Galaxy AI on Unlimited Ultimate and a watch or tab. Also, on them.
Service plan required for watch or tab. Trade-in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
You got problems that you ought to be concerned with. Moolah! You don't know how you're supposed to earn it, or what to do with it, or how to keep it. You're a freak with a dark, shameful secret. But you're not the only one. Get your hidden financial fears with a blast of sun. Now your healing has begun. It's Bad with Money with Gabe S. Done.
Hello and welcome to Bad with Money, a show about finances and feelings where we don't talk down to you. I'm Gabe Dunn. I'm your host. It's our Friday mailbag. How's everyone doing? Pause to let you answer. Sounds great. I hope you didn't say anything bad. I am going to be reading your emails, welcoming some patrons, talking about the Discord comments. If you want to join the Discord, you can do so at the link below. You can also write into badwithmoney at gabeisbadwithmoney@gmail.com. You can also leave a voice memo there. I never say that, but you can leave a voice memo. And I would love if you did. We've had some really fun ones. I also want to say that you can DM me on Instagram at BWMPod or at Gabe S. Dunn. And I usually read those too. So let's get started. Our new patron is Helen. That's our one new patron for this week. Thank you, Helen. If you want to be a patron, go to patreon.com/Gabe S. Dunn, where you can see a video of this mailbag. That's where they exclusively live. Here, I'll do a hand signal that I do every week. And if you're not watching the mailbag, you're just listening. You don't know what I just did. So that's exclusive, baby. Okay, let's get into what you guys have sent. So this is a letter from Frank. Hi, Gabe. Almost exactly a year ago, I went on a date with this guy from New York/St. Louis. Okay, those are two very different places. Named Keo. Okay, we're really giving out his name. And it was an okay date. And near the end of it, I was feeling like it wasn't really going anywhere. And I asked him for podcast recommendations. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Hold on. You gave me this man's name and his locations, and that the date wasn't good, and that you didn't see it going anywhere, and that when that happened, you asked for podcast recommendations, and then you wrote an email into me for a show he probably listens to. One of them was Bad with Money, and I wrote it down and forgot about it and didn't see him again after that. Keo, are you listening to this? I'm sorry, my voice keeps breaking because I'm on testosterone and my voice is changing. I'm sorry. Keo probably, so you know he listens to this show. Is this a revenge? I don't know. Anyway, 6 months later, I ran into him and started talking again. And now I've been hanging out with him for like 6 months. Okay. Wow. Now you've been hanging out with him for 6 months. Okay. So we turned it around. We actually turned it around. And we're back to March. So this email came in March. Okay, so we're not just talking shit about Keo. Keo knows that this is happening. I've been crying about money and being $20K in debt from a surgery to save my cat and car issues and medical stuff and a lot of things. And he brought up your podcast again. So I started listening to it and I'm instantly hooked. I really wished I had listened to him a year ago when he suggested it. Looking forward to hearing more episodes. I'm only like 2 in, but I'm feeling better already. Thank you for doing this, Frank, he, they. Frank, this was a roller coaster. Are you and Keo together? Are you still together? Are you listening to this right now? So he knows that the date just went okay. This is wild. Well, thank you to Keo for all that you've done for me, PR-wise. And thank you to Frank for writing this in because it was quite a saga. And I'm glad that the show is helping you. I'm sure you've probably listened to more by now because you sent this end of March and I'm recording this middle of April. But I'm glad the show is helpful. You'll figure it out. I cry about money all the time. Believe me, it's extremely relatable. And I guess I hope you and Keo are married now. And you know what? If you do get married, you can invite me to the wedding. I'll maybe come to the wedding. Your hair is so much more than what you see when you look in the mirror. From stress and nutrition to hormones to lifestyle, so many internal factors affect what you see on the outside. With Nutrafol's science-backed, whole-body approach, nourish growth from within and achieve your best hair yet. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1 million people. See thicker, stronger, faster-growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. Physician-formulated with 100% drug-free ingredients, Nutrafol supports healthy hair growth from within by targeting key root causes of thinning, stress, hormones, aging, nutrition, lifestyle, and metabolism through whole-body health. While many supplements rely solely on ingredient studies, Nutrafol clinically tests final formulations to ensure their efficacy. In a clinical study, 72% of men saw more scalp coverage after taking Nutrafol Men Hair Growth Supplement for 6 months, and 86% of women saw improved hair growth after taking Nutrafol Women Hair Growth Supplement for 6 months. Building a hair growth routine is simple. Purchase online, no prescription required. Automated deliveries and free shipping keep you on track. Plus, with a Nutrafol subscription, you can save up to 20%. You'll have access to free naturopathic doctor consults, and a Headspace meditation membership is included. Start your hair growth journey with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month's subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code BWM. Find out why over 4,500 healthcare professionals and stylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code BWM. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code BWM. I was looking for a day job. As you guys know from listening to this show, making money consistently is really important, and it's really scary when it's not happening. And so I was looking for a job, and I was looking all over. I was going to places. I was trying to do that old school thing of maybe you just leave a resume at the smoothie shop. I don't know. But I found my job so easily using Indeed. And I actually recommended Indeed to other people to use when they come in and they say, oh, how can I work here? I say, I actually found the job on Indeed. So go look at Indeed, because that is literally how I found my job and applied and got hired. When it comes to hiring, Indeed is all you need. Stop struggling to get your job posts seen on other job sites. Indeed's sponsored jobs help you stand out and hire fast. With sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach people you want faster. And it makes a huge difference. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. One of the things I love about Indeed is that it matched me to the right job. It showed me exactly the types of jobs I was looking for. I was able to parse through. I was able to see the locations. I was able to see the requirements. I was able to apply. I don't know how I would have done it without Indeed, truly. And it obviously allowed this business to find the right people, aka me. With Indeed sponsored jobs, there's no monthly subscriptions, no long-term contracts, and you only pay for results. How fast is Indeed? In the minute I've been talking to you, 23 hires were made on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide. There is no need to wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/badwithmoney. Just go to Indeed.com/badwithmoney right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/badwithmoney. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring, Indeed is all you need.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now boarding Group A. Please have your boarding passes ready to scan. If your phone is cracked, old, or was chewed up by your Chihuahua travel companion, please refrain from holding up the line. And instead, simply go to Verizon and trade in any phone in any condition from one of their top brands for the new Samsung Galaxy S25 Plus with Galaxy AI on Unlimited Ultimate and a watch or tab. Also on them.
Service plan required for watch or tab. Trade-in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Okay, this is an Instagram comment that says, Gabe, I just started listening to the new episode and I am cackling at your theme song edit. LOL. Perfect execution. Excited that Bad with Money is finally back. Yeah, so if you guys have listened, you know that I just inserted my new name, into the song that already exists because I really like the song and it's such a great podcast theme and I didn't want to get rid of it and I love how it sounds. And so you guys get it. I just literally, it's so awkward, but I'm glad you guys liked it. And this person wrote, so glad you're back, Gabe. There's no such thing as a boring episode of Bad with Money. I think that is in response to me saying that Stephanie Lee is back for another boring episode. I love her and I'm saying boring as like a joke, but people really loved the boring episode. But basically it's Stephanie giving a lot of really great advice and we have her back on the show. So there's actually 2 quote unquote boring episodes. But I guess according to this person, no episode is boring. So that's very sweet. Okay, this is a question from Facebook. Does anyone remember in which episode there was a discussion about women getting needs met at work by essentially following the script from a middle-aged white male? I think it was called What Would Josh Do or something like that. I'm trying to find it for a friend. Okay, so then I went to go look for this episode and I actually can't find it and I don't remember what it's called. So if somebody remembers that episode or who it was with, please write in to gabeisbadwithmoney@gmail.com because I can't find it and I can't remember. And it sounds really similar. Like it sounds really familiar. I've been doing this show since 2016. I can't remember every episode, but some of you guys have good memories like that. So if you remember this episode, write it in and I will recommend it again to this person because I looked and this person couldn't find it and I couldn't find it. So let me know. Okay. This is a comment from Moon Ravioli on Discord. Just listened to this episode today and I wanted to share that the city I live in just recently had an election where we voted on abolishing the sub-minimum wage and raising the regular minimum. Okay, yeah, so this is an episode we did about the minimum wage and tipping, if you want to listen to the episode with Barbara Sloan. It was super controversial and ultimately didn't pass. Oh, that sucks. I saw a lot of posts from restaurant owners saying they would have to either double their food prices or shut down, and even some service workers who were worried about making less money if the law passed because the new minimum wage would actually be less than what they normally would make after tips. At the end of the day, I agree we just need to get rid of tipping entirely and pay everyone a living wage. But it's kind of hard to see how we get to that point. Tipping culture is so ingrained in the US. Yes, I know. So we did this episode with Barbara Sloan. That was the last episode that came out in November before we took our break. And it's a very complicated issue. It's one of those issues that I do agree is really hard to solve. I think right now, especially restaurants and places where you tip are not open to this kind of thing, especially not open to it. I think in the wake of COVID, like they're just really, this is like really the time where they're not listening. So, you know, anyone who's seen those signs that are like, no one wants to work anymore. I think this is something that could, like you were talking about, be changed locally more so. But I also am worried, like, I don't want people to just stop tipping as like a thing or as like a protest or something. Like people still need to live off of tips. So I don't think you could be like a one-man band about this. I think you probably are going to need bigger reforms or to work on this politically. I would never suggest that anyone just become like Steve Buscemi's character in Reservoir Dogs. Although I did hear a story that Buscemi's character in Reservoir Dogs notoriously doesn't tip. That's not a spoiler for Reservoir Dogs, but whatever. And then I heard that Buscemi in real life is a wonderful tipper. Maybe to make up for how he's portrayed in Reservoir Dogs. But I don't know. Have you or someone you know been a victim of identity theft, harassed, stalked, doxxed? Privacy matters, especially to someone like me who has a bit of a public persona, but it also matters to my listeners because this kind of thing can happen to anyone. Do you ever wonder how much of your personal data is out there on the internet for anyone to see? More than you think. Your name, your contact info, your social security number, your home address, even information about your family members, all compiled by data brokers and sold online. Data brokers make a profit off your data, and your data is a commodity. Anyone on the web can buy your private details. This can lead to identity theft, phishing attempts, harassment, and unwanted spam calls. But you can now protect your privacy with Delete Me. I share a lot of my life online, so I am hyper aware of my safety and security. It's easier than ever before to find personal information about people online, and all of this data is just hanging out on the web, but it can have actual consequences in the real world. I have used Delete Me. I had an instance where some stuff was going on Reddit. I don't want to draw more attention to it, but I used Delete Me because a friend of mine who's a sex worker actually told me about it. And it's something that a lot of women online use in order to keep their information safe from stalkers and harassers. The solution that we used is called Delete Me. It is a subscription service that removes your personal info from hundreds of data brokers. I have actually used this. I used this years ago, and so that's why I'm choosing to personally endorse it. If you sign up and provide Delete Me with exactly what information you want deleted, their experts take it from there. Delete Me sends you regular, personalized privacy reports showing what info they found, where they found it, and what they removed. Delete Me isn't just a one-time service. It is always working for you, constantly monitoring and removing the personal information you don't want on the internet. To put it simply, Delete Me does all the hard work of wiping you and your family's personal information from data broker websites. Take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me, now at a special discount for my listeners. Today, get 20% off your Delete Me plan by texting BAD MONEY to 64000. Text BAD MONEY to 64000. That's BAD MONEY, all one word, to 64000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details. So those are the things that you guys wrote in. If you want to write in to gabeisbadwithmoney@gmail.com. I would also love it if you guys left voice memos. I'm just sort of trying to catch up on everything now. And I wanted to give an update for me about continuing name change stuff. So I went into the bank, other banks. So Bank of America specifically was incredibly helpful. The guy reminded me too that I needed checks. Like, he was incredibly helpful. Then I went into these other banks because I had to change my name on stuff, and I needed an ID to do it. And so my ID, driver's license was coming, and I brought that in, and most of the banks, it was fairly easy, but one credit card I have does not have a physical location. So I have to have a W-9. I have to present them with a W-9 newly filled out. I have to present them with the ID. I have to do all this stuff, submit all this stuff via email. And, we talked on this show, we did an episode with Mal Blum about getting your name changed when you don't have any of the paperwork. And I thought that it was going to be really overwhelming and hard. It wasn't that difficult to change the name. And also for my taxes and for it costs money. I think all told maybe $1,000 or less. And thus far, I haven't done the passport yet. I think that will cost money. But also for taxes, I really thought it was going to screw me up. We'll find out if it does. But I just said to my accountant, hey, I changed my name. My accountant was like, great, I'll take care of it. So I think I had this undue idea that it was going to be this really difficult thing, and that everyone was going to be so inconvenienced, and that it was going to be so hard to track me or to keep track of my stuff, or there would be mistakes or something. Do I think it was made easier by the fact that I changed my name from my dead name to a name that was very similar to my dead name? I think yes, because when I've gone to pick up my prescriptions, I can say Gabriel, and a lot of people will just read that on the screen, even if the name isn't changed. So that's probably made things easier for me. I think if you write in and you've wholesale changed your name, you might have had more of a difficult time. So write into Gabe is bad with money and let me know about that, actually, because I don't have that experience. And then I'll also keep you guys updated about the passport of it all, because I don't know how that's going to go. I also don't know about changing my gender marker on my passport. I think it'll be fine because I have the driver's license. So that's the update on that kind of thing. If you have questions about the costs associated with it, or if, something goes completely awry with my taxes, I will let you guys know, because it's April 13th right now. So tax day will have come and gone, and we'll see if everything is screwed up. Also on the Discord, I wanted to shout out that RIP Medical Debt, which is a website that I love, is hosting the first ever debt gala in New York. RIP Medical Debt is a website that we've talked about on my other show, Just Between Us. So if you want to go listen to our interview with the people behind RIP Medical Debt, you should absolutely go listen to this. But basically, they are holding a debt gala, which is a play on the Met Gala. So they wanted to, as a nonprofit, raise a bunch of money for their organization and for what they do, which is eliminating medical debt. The idea is that they're going to do it on the day before the Met Gala. So they're going to be doing this April 30th. But you can also, at any point, donate to RIP Medical Debt. They're a really great organization. And it's also funny because it's like, the Met Gala is so ostentatious and raises so much money. And I think the debt gala is a very funny idea. And you should hop on the Discord and you can join it at the link below. Someone also offered to, if someone wants to support the debt gala or if someone wants to support RIP Medical Debt, this person will match up to 6 donations with 45-minute DIY financial ed sessions on Sunday, April 30th. Topic of your choice. So you should email Stephanie at frequentlytaxedquestions.com, our former guest, Stephanie Lee, and she's going to give you some free financial education stuff that's pretty DIY. She's someone who believes that you can do your own taxes. So if you are interested in that, give that a go. I think that's everything. Please write into gabeisbadwithmoney@gmail.com. And you can also leave a voice memo. Please do. I love the voice memos. They're my favorite. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Gabe S. Dunn and at BWM Pod. Okay, love you guys. Have a great Friday. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now boarding Group A. Please have your boarding passes ready to scan. If your phone is cracked, old, or was chewed up by your Chihuahua travel companion, please refrain from holding up the line. And instead, simply go to Verizon and trade in any phone in any condition from one of their top brands for the new Samsung Galaxy S25 Plus with Galaxy AI on Unlimited Ultimate and Watch or Tap, also on them.
Service plan required for Watch or Tap. Trade-in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.